Hello, I'm Ewan Spence, and this is Every Song a Story, Symbols and Themes. How do you create long-lasting images and emotion from your performance at the Eurovision Song Contest? Using recurring themes in the visuals is one way. Returning to specific shots, using symbols and actions to represent moments, and creating a sense of epic scale can all be used. In this final episode of Every Song a Story, I want to bring together the individual elements from the previous essays to show them all in action. I also want to show how these techniques can be used in the promotional videos, and how familiarity with the official video creates even more of a connection with the stage performance. It might be 3 minutes on the night, but you can prepare the audience. Let's go to the biggest question of Eurovision 2014. Why did Montenegro have an ice skater on stage? Because she is the symbol of Serge Setkovic's unrequited love. Rather than stage this primarily as a left-right emotional conflict story, Moj Svet is staged in foreground and background. As Serge steps forward, the skater has pushed herself even further forward. At no point are the two subjects of this story in the same plane of depth, foreground or background, but they do tease and they play with each other by exchanging left, centre and right camera spaces between them. Serge can look all he likes in the lyrics, she will always be out of reach unless he can find a way to bridge that gap. Also note that the principles of Bayhem are here as well, multiple layers of movement, use of the vertical plane, emphasis in parallax and flowing cuts. This staging replicates the visual language of the official video. It's clear in the video that this is a foreground-background story. We have a young Serge that's cycling to the foreground with his love in the background, while old Serge is still in the foreground by the sea. Note the symbols here touch on left, centre, right principles, but also note that she is the sun. She marks Serge here, and then she goes into the background. And we have our story laid out right there. Serge will be trapped in the foreground, chasing to find his love in the background. The world will always isolate him, will always put barriers in the way, and no matter how he tries to physically bridge the gap, he will fail. But symbols! By creating the sun in the foreground through the use of chalk, he builds his own channel to the sun in the background. Symbols are interchangeable, they can move between planes, everything that the sun represents. As the video ends, the dawning sun breaks through from the background to the foreground, and he can finally reach his love. As we all know, there is no sun in Denmark, but you do have the backing singers creating the bridge from background to foreground, and that thunderclap of sunlight breaks through and creating that connection. It's a happily ever after, by the way. Hopefully, Every Song a Story has given you a basic understanding of some techniques that are common at the Eurovision Song Contest. Creating connections with the other performers on stage and the audience at home. Framing performers in left, centre, right on the screen to tell a story through action. Using depth as another storytelling tool. The principles of the Hollywood blockbuster, including movement, direction, depth and flowing cuts. And now creating consistent themes throughout all of the various presentations that an act will go through. These aren't the only techniques that can be used, but they are the basic building blocks. What happens when you put them all together and everything just works? You get calm after the storm. It's one of many boy-girl songs, and the live performance is pretty much, will this couple break up or not? Tension creates the story creates opportunities for presentation. Note the immediate use of vertical and the obvious left-right split on the screen. We have two sides in the conflict, but they also, Ilsa and Waylon, possess the centre. This is a couple, and the interaction with each other shows that they are still together, and it feels like they want to be together. With left and right in play, it's time to add in movement on screen for that Hollywood feel, but also to show the couple happily exchanging space with each other through left, centre, right, and sharing those moments with eye contact down the camera to the audience. We're sharing not just left and right, but also foreground and background. Although, when the story beats arrive in the song, you'll see that Ilsa or Waylon both get a momentary burst of being in the centre. What's interesting to me is that rather than replicate the video, the live performance is a continuation of the video. In the official video, there's still a flood of left and right going on, as well as foreground and background. But here we see an estranged couple who are pushing each other away. They are still equals, and they are still interchangeable. Neither possesses all left or all right. They continue to exchange places, but here there's little connection with each other. They're making attempts to approach each other, but the other always pushes them away, be it through a look, camera move, or hiding behind the scenery. But there is a promise at the end of the video, and that promise is honoured in the live show. The couple that was estranged and wanted one more go, here get one more go on the biggest stage in the world. The themes from the video continue into the live show, creating more depth and more connection with the fans for presenting a coherent story to newcomers who are only watching on the night. There is no magic formula to winning the Eurovision Song Contest. You need to be at the top of your game in every area. Good camera can never guarantee a victory, but it can certainly be part of a winning combination. Conversely, a bad presentation can drag a good song down on the night. Hopefully these video essays have highlighted the difference that presentation can make and given you some more things to watch out for during this year's contest. I'm Ewan Spence, and this was Every Song a Story.